Wanna get a mansion, a jacuzzi, a theater to watch my movies, couple whips and lots of fancy things. The kids they call the Goonies. I see the future, crystal ball, mirror, mirror hanging on the wall. Who the flyest white boy of them all? Got your girlfriend screening all the calls. She bubbling, we fucking and you cuddling. Like baby, where the fuck you been? Don't wanna tell you she in love with him. So we ain't saying nothing. You could probably tell she bluffing, cause she kissed you with the mouth. She gave me head with my concussion. And she blushing, all red, wanna rush and go to bed. You interrogate that bitch like you the fed. So she says she in love with a rock star. Wanna smoke my weed, so she asked me where the tops are. Oh, top drawer. Oh, yeah.
Hello friends, if you missed it, I'm in Japan, and the last few days me and my dad have spent at Tokyo Disneyland staying at the Toy Story Hotel, so I figured I'd give you a little hotel tour. So when you first get to the hotel, you walk up and through the Slinky Dog Park, which is an outdoor play area for kids, great spot for photo ops, with just a bunch of the figures from Toy Story, and it's honestly like so cool in person. Like, we definitely geeked out over this. And then the outside of the hotel is so cool. You get inside, the entire place is decked out. Every place you look is Toy Story themed. They also continue the park in the back of the hotel, which is actually the view from our room. Like I said, every part of the hotel is decorated, even the ceiling. They're constantly playing the movies in the lobby, and then there's also a gift shop in the lobby. Then you go and you get on the elevators. One side of elevators is decorated for Buzz, and one side of the elevators is decorated for Woody. The one closest to our room was Buzz. And then you walk down the hallway to your room, and here are all the little details. It's honestly just so cool. To me, my favorite part was the Etch-a-Sketch TV. But this is the view out of our room. Like I said, it's the continuation of the park. And at night, it is so cool. Everything about this hotel is just so well decorated, and down to the final little touch. We even had slippers that said Andy on the bottom. Honestly, this hotel was perfect. We loved it, and stay tuned for more.
Smoking cigarettes on the roof. You look so pretty and I love this view. We fell in love in October. That's why I left fall.
Hello friends, welcome to our day 4 in Japan vlog. We got up nice and early, started our day taking a taxi to go to teamLab Planets, which is like an art installation, kind of like movement space. You go in, you take off your shoes, and there's all these different art installation areas where some are water, some are lights based, and the whole point is to become intuitive with your feelings and your senses. And it was a really cool experience. So there was the iconic light room, and then you go into this other room with water up to your knees with fish reflected on the ground. It was really cool. And then you move in to the light sphere space, which had these big blow up spheres that you could change the colors of all of them in the room by tapping them. And they also moved around, and it was very, very cool. After that, you moved into kind of like a planetarium looking area where you laid on the ground and flowers moved about all above you. and it's constantly changing. It's never the same twice, which I thought was really cool. Then you go into the first part of the garden, which are those reflecting spheres, and then the main event of the garden is this area where the flowers are actually coming down from the ceiling and moving, and it is constantly moving and growing. It's very cool. Then we took the train to Shibuya. We did a little bit of shopping, did some claw games. I was wronged by this one. And then we went to the infamous Shibuya Crossing, which is the busiest pedestrian intersection in the world, supposedly. It was really cool. We watched it go a few times, then we walked through it a few times. Then we actually went up into the Starbucks, which overlooks it, and watched all the people from above for a little bit, which was really cool. Then we headed off to the Nintendo and Pokemon Center in Tokyo. My dad was so stoked. I was excited, but nothing like him. He was so excited. And I thought it was so cute that they actually had a baby Daisy, because that is my favorite Mario Kart character. So iconic. And then we went over to the Muji store. I have always wanted to go to a Muji store in person, so obviously I had to go out in Tokyo. After that, we went back to our hotel to hang out for a little bit, and then at night we headed over to Osakusa, which is a district of Tokyo. We got dinner, and then we went to the Senzu-ji temple, and it was really cool because it's the first temple we've gotten to go to since being in Asia. And it was really cool being there at night. There was less people. The heat was obviously more manageable, and it was really cool. We got to do some little fortune games, which was nice, and just relaxed, paid our respects, and got to explore everything. And it was just a great way to end our 4th full day in Tokyo. And that was our day. I'll see you guys later. Hello friends, welcome to our day 5 here in Japan vlog. Today we took a bus out to see Mount Fuji. No, we did not climb Mount Fuji. Take one quick look at us. Instead, we went to the town of Fujiko Wachiko, something like that, which is a town popular for viewing Mount Fuji. It's a town that surrounds Lake Kawaguchi, and you can take a gondola like we did up to a viewing point to see Mount Fuji. And here she is in all her glory. When we were at the viewing point, she was a little hard to see. The top of her was blocked by the clouds, so that's okay. They have these rabbits there that you rub for good luck. They each mean something different, so we went ahead and did that. Then we had lunch there, explored the lake a little bit, and then it was time to head back to try to catch our bus back to Tokyo. While on the city bus back to the bus stop to get on our main bus back to Tokyo, we actually got a really good view of Mount Fuji, so here she is, a much better view with less clouds. Then we got back, got on our main bus back to Tokyo, got stuck in quite some traffic, so by the time we made it back, it was just bedtime, and that was our 5th full day in Tokyo. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. friends, welcome to day 7 and our final day here in Japan vlog. We started our morning by heading to the train station where we stumbled upon this incredible Parisian bakery. So we had some treats and honestly it was so good. It was such a nice surprise. After our quick little breakfast, we got the train to go see the Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine. Basically, they have these really famous red gates that span up the side of a mountain that you can walk through. It was honestly one of my favorite things that we've gotten to do and see here in Japan. It was just really, really cool, unique, and I really enjoyed it. After that, we walked through a little town there, got a quick little sweet treat, and then headed back to Kyoto Tower because my dad wanted some sushi, so we went to a sushi revolving bar. And then we headed back to our hotel, and since we're staying at a traditional Japanese hotel, they actually have an onsen, which is a natural hot spring bathing area, so we went and did that. Afterwards, I took a little nap because I was exhausted, and then we headed back out for dinner, and it was a great way to wrap up our final day here in Japan. Back at the hotel, we got our free ice cream, which they have every night, and packed up to head to Vietnam. I love you guys, and I'll see you in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Hello friends, welcome back to our Asian adventures. Today we are leaving Japan for good and heading to Vietnam. We had to leave our hotel in Kyoto around 5:30 to catch a bullet train from Kyoto to the airport. The train ride was about an hour and it was actually really nice because the train was basically empty at that hour. And once we were at the airport, we had to get through security, and then it was about a 5-hour flight to Vietnam. We were flying into Ho Chi Minh City, also known as Saigon, and so once we got there, we had a long customs process, which we were expecting. You have to get a visa when you come to Vietnam, even if you're coming for tourism and just for a few days. So we did that, got through security, and then we got out to meet our driver. My dad does all of our trip planning himself, and he actually decided to get us a personal English-speaking tour guide with a driver for our 2 days in Vietnam, just because it was not that expensive and an easier way to see as much of the city as we could since we only had a few days here. So once we got everything together, it was already about 3:30-ish. So our tour guide just took us on a bit of a driving tour of the city so we could drive around and see everything. And then afterwards, we went back to our hotel planning on leaving and going back out later that night. We were honestly both so exhausted, and I am actually getting a little sick. And so we ended up just going to bed. And that was our first day in Vietnam. Hello friends, welcome to our day 2 in Vietnam vlog. So we got up bright and early after a great night's sleep to get picked up by our tour guide to drive out to the Mekong River. On the way there, we stopped at this adorable rest stop, and I had literally the best coffee, maybe of my life, but for sure of this trip. On the way there, we also stopped at a temple, and they very graciously let us go in and explore it a little bit before heading back on the road. We eventually made it to the Mekong River and got on our own little personal riverboat that took us around to the different little kind of like islands in the middle of the river. The boat experience was honestly phenomenal. There was like a nice breeze, which was a great break from the heat. We eventually got there. Our first stop was a bee farm, a bee honey farm, where we had green tea with natural honey grown on the farm. The bees were everywhere, but they were so friendly, and it was really good, and I really enjoyed the tea. Once we were done with that, we hopped on this little golf cart that took us around and showed us all the different parts of the island, where different people live, things like that. We got to try some natural fresh fruit from the island and listen to some people sing and play music. Then we got to go to a coconut candy farm and see how they make the coconut candy directly from the coconut. And then we got to take this special little boat, which was like my favorite part of the entire day, honestly. And then we had lunch while we were there, and it was all around a really cool experience. It was probably my favorite thing that we've done so far in Asia. Afterwards, we went and saw Big Buddha, which was also very cool. It is massive. Like, I can't even explain to you how big. After that, we headed back to our hotel, hung out for a little bit, and then went back out at night to explore some of the markets. Because I'm still a little sick and it was quite overwhelming, we didn't stay long, but we did explore, get some treats, and headed back. And that was our second day in Vietnam. Hello friends, welcome back to another vlog of our Asian travels. Today we are leaving Vietnam and heading for Cambodia. We started our morning checking out of our hotel and then heading out to go see the Chu Chin tunnels, which were used during the Vietnam War, or as they call it here, the Civil War or American War. I'm not a big war person, if you couldn't guess it, but it was pretty cool to see everything going on. After that, we headed for the airport, and once we got through security and everything, it was just a quick 1-hour flight on over to Cambodia. We landed, and it was around 7 p.m. It was gorgeous out. The sun was shining, hot per usual. We booked a tour guide through the same company as we had in Vietnam, so they came and picked us up from the airport, took us to our hotel. We checked in, we were greeted with little goodies, had a quick dinner at the restaurant there, and went to bed. And that was our travel day from Vietnam to Cambodia. Hello friends, welcome back to our Asian travel adventure vlogs. Today we are in Cambodia and we are doing an Angkor temple tour. We visited 4 temples, starting with the most famous and prominent Angkor Wat temple, which is to be known as the largest religious structure in the world. So we spent the entire day hiking through the ruins of these temples. We started our morning with some monkey friends, which was lovely. The heat was brutal. We did have to have our knees and our shoulders covered, so that's why I'm in pants and a long shirt. But it was really cool. It was a lot of walking, a lot of up and down steps, but it was a really cool day, a really unique experience to get to try. And although it was exhausting, I am very glad that we did it. It's not something you can do anywhere else, obviously, and it was really cool. Each of the 4 temples was a little bit different, had very different backstories, and had very different remnants left. And so it was a very enlightening and enriching day, to say the least. Afterwards, we went back to our hotel and had some pool time. Our hotel is a gorgeous resort spa hotel, and they actually have a rooftop pool, so we got to hang out and do some swimming, which was such a nice cool down relief after the long day we had. And then at night we took a tut-tut out to a traditional Cambodian dinner dancing restaurant situation that our tour guide had set up. Essentially, it was a buffet style dinner where you then watch all of these traditional Cambodian dances that used to only be allowed in the temples. It was honestly one of the coolest things we've done. Afterwards, we went to the night markets for a little bit before heading back to our hotel. I got some ice cream. It was lovely. And that was our day in Cambodia. Hello friends, here is our vlog of our last day in Cambodia and also our travel vlog to Bangkok, Thailand. So we started our morning by getting up super early and heading out to the Kulin Elephant Forest for an elephant walk. We got to make some treats for the elephants and then go out and feed them first thing in the morning, and then we headed on about an hour walk through the forest with them. I had done something similar to this when I was in Africa on study abroad. But this was my first time with Asian elephants, and it was really cool. Afterwards, we headed out on a boat tour to view the Siem Reap floating village town, which is a town that is completely floating on the water. Our boat driver's adorable son came with us, and I was obsessed with him. We got to see some alligators and other water animals and things, and then we actually got caught in a storm on our way back, so we had to deal with that, and then it was time to head straight for the airport. We had just a quick 1-hour flight on over to Bangkok, Thailand, and that was our last day in Cambodia.
What about a hit of your love?
friends, we've made it to Bangkok, Thailand. Here's the vlog of our first day. We are actually here on a holiday. It is the Queen Mother's birthday, and so the day we got there was her actual birthday, but they celebrate the whole weekend. So we started our morning by going to the Grand Palace bright and early because it was going to close down to the public later for a celebration. I really enjoyed this. There was a lot to see, a lot to do, a lot of people there showing their respects for the day, and it was just very cool. Our tour guide Bobby was the GOAT. As soon as he found out that I made TikToks, all he wanted to do was take videos of me, and so it was a really good day. After that, we went and saw yet another big Buddha. This time it was the big reclining Buddha, and then we got to do this little good luck charm thing. After that, we got on another riverboat. This is truly the trip of riverboats, and we went and saw another big Buddha. After that, we took the riverboat over to another temple area to see, and then went and got a traditional Thai lunch. After that, we got caught in the rain heading back to our hotel, but then we took a little nap, headed out for dinner, and it was all around a great day in Bangkok. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello friends, welcome to our second day in Bangkok, Thailand. Today we took the SkyTrain out to go to their weekend market that they have. It's essentially this huge space just full of store stall things. Everything from art and home decor to food to touristy things. I got this adorable hat I'm absolutely obsessed with, but I am heartbroken I did lose my sunglasses somewhere around right here. We did some shopping, had some snacks, got a lot of souvenirs for everybody. It was great. And then we went and got a Thai foot massage, which was also 10 out of 10. After that, we just went to 7-Eleven, got some snacks, and that was basically our day. See you guys tomorrow. Another day, another flight. Today we are leaving Bangkok, Thailand and heading for Phuket Island. Easy breezy flight, just a little over an hour to get there. So we started our day just going straight to the airport and making our way on out there. You know, I'm really getting the hang of these little short hopover flights. We got there, Phuket welcomed us with a nice rainy welcome, but it was still so gorgeous. It was about an hour ride to where we're staying because of the traffic getting there midday, but we eventually got to our hotel, which is so gorgeous. I just wish it wasn't raining. I would have been in that ocean already, but we made it to our room, which is stunning. Look at this bathroom. I already took a bath in that bathtub. It's just incredible. And we have our own little outside area with a little day bed that I'm actually laying on while recording this. Then I headed to the spa, wanted to show off my new bag I got at the airport. Got caught in a torrential downpour. Dad got caught in the elevator, so I guess things could be worse. And I went and got a traditional Thai massage. It was lovely. Then we went to dinner, once again, caught in the rain. I think you're catching the vibe. We had this incredible dinner right by the ocean. It was a great first day in Phuket, even with the rain. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I can't explain. I got a feeling that I can't erase. Just a feeling that I won't leave behind. Because it's something that it's on my mind. I guess it goes like na na na. Got ready for the night. Na 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 na. She's heading for the lights.
Hello friends, and welcome to our first full day in Phuket Island. I woke up bright and early, like 6 a.m. So I went out, sat on our little terrace patio area and read for a few hours and started my day slowly, you know. Then I got ready to go down to the beach. I stopped and had breakfast on the way. The food at this hotel has been incredible. I walked over to the beach. The waves in the wind were crazy, but I did venture in. We were hoping for better weather while we were here, but honestly, it being kind of gloomy was kind of perfect because it wasn't too hot. So I spent a few hours just kind of being mindful with myself this morning and hanging out on the beach. I forgot to mention, my dad was still asleep, so I spent this whole time alone. And then in the afternoon, my dad came and joined me and we ventured up to the pool. I swam for a few hours, read by the pool. I got fruit complimentary brought to me, and then I ordered lunch. Like I said, the food incredible. And then it started raining, so I did head back up to our room and showered, got ready for the evening, all of that. Then we headed into town. We did go and get mani-pedis. Lily, if you are seeing this, I'm so sorry. My father made me. After that, we grabbed dinner and headed back to the hotel, and that was our full first day in Phuket Island. Hello friends, welcome to another day in Phuket Island. We got up bright and early because we are taking a boat tour out to James Bond Island. This was one of my dad's bucket list items. I was really just along for the ride. However, I was not told that this was going to be an 8-hour day on a boat, but nonetheless. Our first stop was at a little island to do some snorkeling. We actually got to see some pretty cool fish, so that was a win, I will say. And then we continued on the boat. One of my favorite parts of this day was just being out on the water and getting to see everything. It was very cool, even though it was very gloomy and raining on and off all day, but honestly, it kind of made it better. The sun beating down on us would have been brutal. Our next stop was to get on these little kayak canoe situation things. They took us out and around some rock structures. It was very relaxing, very cool. My dad there clearly enjoying it. And then we went under a rock cave at one point. You can see it from my view and my dad's view. But this was really cool. I actually quite enjoyed it. Afterwards, we went to a floating village, had lunch, and did a little bit of exploring the local town there. It was very cool. My dad was really excited to see the school and the soccer field that they actually have on the village floating. Afterwards, we headed to the main attraction, James Bond Island. This was where Man with the Golden Gun, the iconic scene, was filmed. I clearly, obviously, know nothing about it. Just the stories I was told. Then we went and stopped off at a little beach swimming area for like an hour. I laid in that chair and slept, I'm not gonna lie. It was a long day. Afterwards, we went back to the hotel, changed and got ready, had dinner at the hotel. Like I've been saying, the food was incredible. And then we went to bed. Love you guys. Hello friends, today we're catching another flight, but it is to our final destination before coming home. We checked out of our incredible hotel in Phuket Island and are headed for Singapore. We had an early morning coupled with a long ride to the airport, but then had just a short little 1 hour and 20-ish minutes flight on over to Singapore. It was easy breezy. We caught a taxi to our hotel. We're staying our first night in a hotel in Chinatown. So we checked in, dropped off our stuff, and then headed out to do some sightseeing. We basically just did the touristy stuff today. We didn't want to go too crazy on our first day, and we have 2 full days here before we head home. So we just did some, like I said, sightseeing. Walked around, and then we did one of my dad's bucket list items, which was to go to Long Bar, which is the home of the creation of the Singapore sling. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty cool to learn about the history behind it all, and it was also incredible, and you have to when you're in Singapore. After that, we headed back towards our hotel, and we went to kind of like this like Chinese food court area. The food was very good, and then we just walked around, did some shopping, and really just walked around the neighborhood and explored it all. Got some ice cream, showed off a new ring I got, and that was our day traveling to Singapore.
You're back beneath the sun, wishing I could write my name on it. You call back at sun. I remember thinking I had you, but I can see it's lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time. Never mind.
Good morning from Singapore, friends. Today we woke up in Chinatown. We stayed in a Pods hotel, but we were just having a quick morning, catching breakfast in Chinatown before packing up and heading to our hotel for our last 2 days in Asia. If you remember this place from yesterday's vlog, that is where we are staying. My dad surprised me with 2 nights in the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, so we checked in. It is so gorgeous. This place is massive. It's like Vegas. There's a huge mall attached and just so much to do. It's insane. So we checked in, got settled, and then headed over to the Gardens by the Bay, which is like the iconic thing you see in all the movies and shows and stuff in Singapore. We started with the Cloud Forest Dome, which is decked out for Avatar right now. We even got to avatarize ourselves. My dad loved this. I liked it too. It was cool. This was very cool. However, yesterday we got some kind of food poisoning or stomach bug or something in Singapore, and it was hitting me so badly while we were here. So I was like a walking zombie through all this, but my dad loved it, and that's what mattered. Afterwards, we did the Flower Dome, which was also very cool. But like I said, I was down bad. So I was just trying to enjoy it while keeping myself together at the same time. Thankfully, I'm recording this the next day and it is past. I think we just had some bad food or something, but it's okay. The gardens were gorgeous, and then we took a long walk back to our hotel. And then we headed up to the rooftop, which has an infinity pool. This was so cool. We watched the sunset, had dinner up there, and then we actually watched the Gardens by the Bay light show from up there. And then our hotel also does a light show on the other side, so we were able to watch both of those from the roof. It was so cool, and that was our day in Singapore. Hello friends, welcome to the vlog of our last day in Singapore. I woke up bright and early, honestly on accident, so I sat on our patio, read for a bit, and then we ordered breakfast from our TV. That came and got delivered, and then honestly, I took a really long nap afterwards, and was woken up later with french fries by my father, so no complaints. Then I went and spent the afternoon doing a little bit of shopping while my dad went to a science museum. You know, we were both fulfilling our interests for the day. And then after that, the day just progressed on and it was time to get ready for dinner. We were going to one of the restaurants on the rooftop of our hotel for dinner, which was this incredible Italian restaurant. So I had a margherita pizza. Honestly, the dessert was the star of the show, along with the view. 10 out of 10. After that, we went and saw the same tree light show we saw the night before from above, but this time we saw it from eye level, and I'm so glad we got to do it both ways. And that was our last day in Singapore. Hello friends, welcome to our travel days from hell, coming home from Asia. We started our morning in Singapore. Our flight was until 2, so we had the whole morning to relax and enjoy the pool. Little did we know what we were getting ourselves into here today. So we left our hotel around noon and the start of our travels began. Almost threw up in the Uber. What's new? We get there. We cannot find our place to check in. We finally get someone on the phone. Turns out when your flight says it's at 2 o'clock, it means 2 a.m., not 2 p.m. So we had missed our flight by an entire 12 hours. The next flight we were able to get on wasn't for 9 more hours, so we got to just hang out in the Singapore airport. We had to sit around for 2 hours outside of security before we could check our bags in, and then we got through security, thought we could go in the lounge because when we had to rebook our flight, the only seats left were for first class, which not complaining about that. However, we thought we could use lounge, but joke's on us, it hadn't opened yet, so we had to sit outside for 2 more hours and then got to go in the lounge for the last 2 hours of our wait. We finally got on the plane. I mean, honestly, I'm not complaining about this part. Our seats were incredible, and that part was a win. So our first flight was about 8 hours from Singapore to Doha, Qatar. We finally got to Qatar in the dead of night, where we then had about a 9-hour layover. We got to go into the lounge there, which was incredible. I did sleep for most of it, which was a surprise. My dad woke me up about 2 hours before the flight. I got a quick shower in, refreshed, changed my clothes, and then we had a very quick breakfast before heading to get on our flight. Then we had a lovely 15-hour flight. All things considered, it wasn't too bad of a flight. The first half, I desperately wanted to sleep and I couldn't, so I just read and watched some shows and stuff. But then I was eventually able to fall asleep for about the last 6 hours. Here's me showing that we've now officially made it all the way around the globe. And then we landed in Atlanta. I got to see this puppy in real life, but I only got a picture of that little stand. We were supposed to only have about like a 2 to 3 hour layover in Atlanta, but our flight got delayed about an hour. And then once we were on the plane, we were delayed another 45 minutes because there was a missing part. At that point, it's like, are we ever going to get home? Then we had just a little bit over an hour of a flight back to Columbus. I did some eye masks on the plane to try to chill myself out. My aunt came and picked us up with her adorable puppy dog, and then we finally made it home 47 hours after leaving our hotel in Singapore.